This news update is brought to you by
This is the 6 p.m. Barbados Today update for Thursday, July the 24th, 2014. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. We get started with scenes from the highly anticipated opposition march to government headquarters. Opposition Leader Mia Mottley was not alone. In fact, she was surrounded by a sea of white as about 3,000 plus walked in protest to government headquarters. Bearing placards and chanting, "We shall overcome," the group, under the watchful eye of police, called on the Francis Stewart administration to scrap the controversial municipal solid waste tax. As Cabinet was meeting, Mottley attempted to hand-deliver a letter to Prime Minister Stewart, but she would only leave the Bay Street office in frustration.
This is nonsense. We have thousands of people outside. I will not tolerate rudeness from anyone. If this government does not know how to respond in decency to its people, messengers get to carry these letters upstairs. I am simply a messenger from the people today. Pat, Paris, please deliver this and ask them to sign for it. If the receptionist will sign for it, I would be very grateful. But we have people out there in the hot sun waiting on us who have taken their lunchtime to come out. Thank you, and let us go.
Moments later, Mottley told journalists at a news conference the BLP's action was simply about duty.
Wherever there is legislation that the people believe to be oppressive, or taxation, Maria, that the people believe to be unfair, or wherever policy is ill-conceived and where execution is poor and bungling, the opposition has a duty to be able to highlight it. It so happened that the country sang in unison on this occasion.
The White March did not escape the government's attention. Finance Minister Chris Sinckler tells Barbados Today why he acknowledges the efforts of the opposition leader. He says it won't convince anybody to repeal the tax. He suggests instead of marching, the party should take its lead from how Owen Arthur has tackled the issue and insists the government has already responded appropriately.
I think former Prime Minister Arthur's method of dealing with this tax is precisely how you deal with these issues. And we've said that from the beginning. If the tax falls unfairly or unjustly on any group or set of persons, there are provisions within the Act or the Section 5 for you to appeal. Appeals have come in, and we've been dealing with them as expeditiously as we can.
Noticeably absent from the opposition event was the man who once led the party, that's Owen Arthur. He told Barbados Today he abstained on the ground of principle. He explained that while he believes the government may have erred in how it structured the tax, for him to call for a repeal is hypocritical, since he introduced an environmental levy when he was in office.
I cannot participate with honor in something that have no environmental resources at all. I also must tell you that the proposal that is put by the Barbados Labour Party, that you should have a tax on the municipal solid waste tax, but that you should have a tax on water. Because if that was to be the proposal to do in St. Peter what it did in relation to the solid waste and the municipal tax, I would have to urge my constituents not to pay that too.
But there was an apparent change of heart on the part of outspoken St. James Central MP Kerry Simmons, who earlier this week created a stir when he criticized the march. He told our news team the event was a success, but he chided the Prime Minister's office for snubbing his party and says the action reflects the indifference of the government to troubles facing the country. Simmons also used the occasion to clarify what he called misguided interpretations of his position.
I spoke in no uncertain terms about what I understand to be the best interests of my party, and I sought to protect my party. Now, my party is also a democratic institution, and I have to be governed by the will of the majority. A majority position has been reached, and we are here today in support of that. My constituents have been mobilized, and they are here today in support of that, and life goes on. In sports now, Barbados is its first ever IAAF Junior World Champion in the high jump. It's none other than 19-year-old Akela Jones, who covered herself in glory last night with a leap of 6.34 meters at the Games in Oregon. Norway's Nadia Akpana Asa came a close second with 6.31 meters, while Germany's Maurice Lazulo clinched the bronze medal with 6.24 meters. Meanwhile, Barbadian sprinter Levi Cadogan was also in action in the 100 meters, but his 10.39 was only good enough for 4th place.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hey, I'm Charlie, the custom McDonald's virtual only Alpha for Papa, the original Batman, capital O, small B, small F for short. You call me Alpha. This is the Nirvana experience. I am feeling perfect happiness, pure joy, and this is bliss because Barbados today, in association with Wednesday 2000, presents Tales of Nirvana. Yes, listen to me. Why? Because Wednesday 2000, the band is Nirvana. This is Kudumment, the 2040 experience. And what they want you to do, if you believe that you know what Nirvana is, and you can get more Nirvana than me, you have more perfect happiness than me, more pure joy than me, more bliss than me, take a 60-second video, upload it to Tales of Nirvana at BarbadosToday.bb. Yes, and they will upload it to Facebook. People will like it or don't like it, but I know you want them to like it, and you can win 2 costumes for Wednesday 2014, which is Nirvana. This is Kaduma, the 2040 experience. Hey, for further information, log on to www.BarbadosToday.bb. You hear me? www.BarbadosToday.bb. Nirvana, Nirvana, Nirvana.
To Jamaica now, where the country's water woes are taking a toll on several sectors. First, it was agriculture. Now, the hotel industry says the dry spell is affecting some operators, with at least one resort facing closure. Chairman of the Port Antonio chapter of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, Michael Gale, says the situation is dire as some properties are running out of options in the sourcing of water. And that's not all. Members are also bracing for an increase in operational expenses as it relates to the cost of agricultural produce because of the drought. And now an update on the latest international airline crash. The wreckage of a missing Air Algeria flight has been spotted in the north of the Mali desert. That's according to the country's president, who said he was informed that the plane, which disappeared earlier today, is located between Algahok and Kidal. Flight 5017, which has at least 116 people on board, disappeared off the grid after it changed route because of a storm. That's been the 6 p.m. Barbados Today update. You can join us again at 7 in the morning. Until then, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb. Subscribe to our e-paper and our email updates, and like us on Facebook to get more news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a great evening.
This news update is brought to you by...
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Get your sun power.